Admiral Krythar stood on the command platform of his flagship, watching the silent stars beyond the reinforced observation glass. 12 Dominion war cruisers drifted in a flawless encirclement pattern, each vessel large enough to devastate a planet's surface. The formation had been perfected through centuries of conquest. Every species they encountered eventually surrendered once trapped inside it. Admiral, hyperspace disturbance detected, reported Tactical Officer Relvek. Target vessel arriving exactly on predicted coordinates. Krythar's mandibles flexed with satisfaction. The Dominion had waited 4 days for this moment. Intelligence suggested the incoming ship belonged to humanity, a young interstellar species still expanding beyond its home system. Reports described them as fragile, emotional, and prone to surrender when confronted by overwhelming force. "Display the vessel," Krythar ordered. Space twisted briefly before a rectangular white spacecraft emerged. Its hull was smooth, painted in faded blue markings reading UES Horizon Carrier. Compared to Dominion warships, it appeared laughably small. "Cargo vessel confirmed," Relvek said. "Crew manifest estimates 26 humans. Minimal shielding. No weapon signatures detected." The bridge erupted in amused chatter. Krythar silenced them with a gesture. "Prepare intimidation broadcast," he commanded. Standard surrender protocol. The Dominion strategy had crushed 17 civilizations. First came the encirclement, trapping the enemy in helpless isolation. Then came the historical battle recordings showing cities burning, fleets annihilated, and entire species kneeling before Dominion rule. Finally, surrender demands were issued. Fear always accomplished the rest. "Communication channel open," Relvek announced. A human appeared on the screen. She was dark-haired, her expression composed, her uniform simple and unadorned. "This is Captain Mara Ellison of the UES Horizon Carrier," she said calmly. "State your intentions." "I am Admiral Krythar of the Dominion Expansion Fleet," he replied. "You are surrounded by 12 battle cruisers. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. Resistance will result in immediate destruction." Captain Ellison glanced sideways briefly, as though consulting unseen crew members, then returned her gaze to him. "Admiral," she said evenly, "we acknowledge your presence. However, we will not surrender." The bridge fell silent. "You misunderstand," Krythar said, his tone sharpening. "You possess no combat capability. Your surrender is inevitable." "Perhaps," Ellison answered. "But I noticed something interesting about your battle recordings." Krythar narrowed his eyes. "Explain." "They never included humans." Murmurs rippled through the Dominion bridge. "Your species surrendered in all previous engagements," Krythar countered. "Yes," Ellison replied. "We did." She pressed a control panel. Alarms instantly blared across Dominion vessels. "Admiral," Relvek shouted, "the human ship is transmitting a high-band signal across multiple frequencies. It appears to be a distress beacon." Krythar laughed harshly. "No reinforcements exist within 50 light years," he said confidently. Captain Ellison allowed herself the faintest smile. "You're correct," she replied. "It isn't a distress signal." The Dominion bridge fell silent again as her next words arrived with chilling clarity. "It's a combat report." "Combat report?" Admiral Krythar repeated, confusion creeping into his voice. "Yes," Captain Ellison confirmed. "We have transmitted full tactical data, your fleet's coordinates, and a formal declaration of engagement to the Human Defense Network. Every human vessel and colony now knows exactly where you are." Krythar felt irritation simmer beneath his confidence. "You believe help will arrive in time?" "No," she replied calmly. "But that signal ensures something far more important. It ensures accountability." The transmission ended abruptly. "Open channel again," Krythar ordered sharply. Ellison's face reappeared seconds later. "Human captain," he snarled, "you have wasted enough of my time. Surrender now, or your ship will be vaporized." Ellison surveyed her bridge, her crew moving with unsettling calm precision. "Admiral, I have a counteroffer," she said. "Withdraw your fleet immediately. You have 30 seconds to comply." Laughter erupted across the Dominion command deck. "You are one cargo ship against 12 war cruisers," Krythar said. "Your threats are meaningless." 25 seconds, she replied, glancing at her chronometer. "You are insects challenging giants," Krythar said. 15 seconds. Krythar leaned forward, rage building. "Do you understand what we did to your colony on Vega Outpost 7? We turned it into molten glass. 40,000 humans died." Several Dominion officers clicked approvingly. Ellison's expression never changed, though subtle tension passed through her crew. 5 seconds, she said quietly. "You will suffer the same fate," Krythar continued. "Time expired," she replied. She pressed a command rune. Instantly, the human ship changed. White interior lighting shifted to crimson battle illumination. Warning tones echoed through Dominion sensors as enormous energy signatures erupted from the Horizon carrier. "What is happening?" Krythar demanded. The cargo ship's hull began separating into segmented layers. Panels slid aside like unfolding armor plates. Weapon ports emerged along the vessel's length. The harmless paint coating peeled away, revealing a sleek obsidian warship hidden beneath. "Impossible," Krythar whispered. Captain Ellison rose from her chair as her bridge transformed into a combat command center. Additional consoles emerged from the floor. Tactical displays multiplied across the room. "Admiral Krythar," she said, "allow me to introduce the United Earth warship Vengeance." Dominion scanners erupted with alerts as massive power readings flooded their systems. "My vessel has been tracking your fleet for 2 months," Ellison continued. "We anticipated your ambush strategy and provided you the exact target you expected." The transformation completed. The newly revealed warship radiated predatory menace despite its smaller size. "You destroyed Vega Outpost 7, Ellison continued steadily. "Farmers, educators, children, civilians who never threatened your empire." Dominion targeting systems struggled to recalibrate as the vessel they had locked onto no longer existed. "You misjudged humanity," she said. "You assumed emotion made us weak." Krythar barked orders as Dominion ships scrambled into defensive formation. "Lieutenant Alvarez," Ellison said calmly, "prepare primary weapons." "Targets locked, Captain. Begin with their outer escort cruiser." Krythar shouted desperately, "Human Captain, you are still outnumbered." Ellison finally allowed herself a thin smile. "You're correct," she said. "This isn't a fair fight." The first shot from the U.S. Vengeance illuminated space like a newborn star. A concentrated beam of stellar energy struck the designated Dominion cruiser instantly. Its shields flared violently before collapsing. The beam continued through the hull, slicing the colossal vessel in half. The broken warship drifted apart, venting atmosphere and debris into the void. "Return fire," Admiral Krythar roared. 11 cruisers unleashed simultaneous bombardment. Hundreds of plasma lances and antimatter missiles streaked toward the human ship. The combined firepower could shatter a moon. Captain Ellison stood motionless. "Defensive grid active," she announced. A shimmering field formed around the Vengeance. Dominion weapons struck the barrier and vanished, absorbed without visible strain. "Admiral," Ralvek shouted, "their shields are converting our attack energy into power. Their defensive grid is increasing strength." "Secondary weapon ready," Lieutenant Alvarez reported. "Demonstrate kinetic superiority," Ellison replied. "Rail cannon, maximum charge." The warship's hull opened, revealing an immense electromagnetic launcher. A tungsten projectile the length of a transport shuttle accelerated to near-light speed. It crossed the battlefield in less than a second, piercing another cruiser completely. The impact triggered catastrophic reactor failure, detonating the vessel into expanding fire. 2 targets neutralized, Alvarez confirmed. Dominion crews panicked as Krythar ordered concentrated fire on the Vengeance. Energy beams converged onto a single point. The human shield brightened, but remained intact. "Captain," Sensor Specialist Rowan announced, "enemy barrage has boosted shield output to 130%. "Excellent," Ellison replied. "Deploy nanite missiles." 3 tiny projectiles launched silently from the warship. Dominion point defenses failed to intercept them. Each missile burrowed into separate cruisers. Moments passed. Then chaos erupted. Infected cruisers began firing on Allied vessels. Their targeting systems had been rewritten by self-replicating nanites consuming internal systems and commandeering weapon controls. "They're attacking each other," Ralvek screamed. Krythar watched in horror as Dominion ships destroyed one another. "Destroy the compromised vessels," he ordered. By the time Dominion forces eliminated the infected ships, only 5 cruisers remained. "We still outnumber them," Krythar insisted, voice cracking. All ships, ramming speed. 5 massive cruisers accelerated toward the Vengeance. "Primitive strategy," Ellison observed. "Deploy gravity mines," she ordered. Marble-sized devices dispersed around the human ship. As Dominion cruisers approached, artificial gravity wells ignited. Warships twisted violently as impossible gravitational forces tore hulls apart. 3 cruisers disintegrated before impact. A 4th collided with the Vengeance's shield and collapsed like crushed metal foil. Only Krythar's flagship remained, crippled and drifting. His fleet, 12 invincible war cruisers, had vanished in under 20 minutes. The Vengeance hovered nearby like an executioner awaiting judgment. Admiral Krythar sat in his damaged command throne, surrounded by flickering consoles and wounded crew members. His flagship drifted powerless, while the human warship remained perfectly intact. "Incoming transmission," Ralvek whispered. Captain Ellison appeared once more. Her bridge showed no celebration, no triumph, only disciplined efficiency. "You wanted to understand how we defeated your fleet," she said calmly. "The answer is simple. You never understood humanity." Krythar remained silent. "You studied our surrender history," she continued. "You mistook strategy for weakness." She stepped forward. "Humanity spent thousands of years fighting internal wars before reaching space. Every weapon you encountered today represents centuries of perfected destruction. You designed them specifically for us," Krythar said hollowly. "Yes," Ellison replied. "Every species we encounter is analyzed. Your shield technology was countered within 3 weeks. Your fleet formations were predicted years ago." Krythar remembered captured humans from past conflicts. "They were gathering intelligence," he whispered. "Volunteers," Ellison confirmed. "Every captured human transmitted data before death. You conquered 17 species. You taught us how conquerors think." She returned to her chair. "Now you have 2 choices," she said. "Option 1. I destroy your flagship. Your empire never learns what happened here." Krythar braced himself. "Option 2. I allow you to return home. You will deliver my message personally." "Why spare me?" he asked. "Because fear spreads faster through survivors," she replied. Her gaze hardened into something colder than hatred. "Tell your leaders humanity knows about every colony you burned. Withdraw from human territory. Release all human prisoners. Cease hostilities permanently." "And if we refuse?" Krythar asked. Ellison smiled faintly. "Then humanity will erase your empire from existence." 3 weeks later, Krythar stood before the Dominion High Council. Tactical holograms displayed the annihilation of his fleet in brutal clarity. Officers argued furiously, some demanding retaliation, others recognizing catastrophic technological disparity. 26 humans destroyed 12 battlecruisers, one commander whispered. "They fight like us," Krythar said quietly, "but they prepare better." Supreme Commander Draith studied the recording silently. "Your recommendation?" she asked. Krythar remembered Ellison's controlled restraint and the effortless destruction he had witnessed. "Accept their terms," he said. "If we fight them, we cease to exist." After hours of debate, the Dominion issued its historic decree. All fleets withdrew from human space. Prisoners were released. Expansion toward human systems ceased permanently. Across the galaxy, rival empires studied the Dominion retreat with disbelief. Humanity had not announced itself through diplomacy. It announced itself through annihilation. And every civilization listening understood the same terrifying truth. Humans did not seek war. But when war found them, it never survived.